Hey guys, welcome to the 101 in 10, where you get to see your favorite indie artists from around the world 101 in 10 minutes. I'm your host, Ayasha Roberson, and I'm back on the scene with a new artist for this week. So, as we continue to go through the new year, I have an artist today. He is this great guitarist. He has produced so much music. He has this classical, very unique style to his music. I want to introduce to you Mr. Brad Rau. Thank you so much, Brad. Yay. Thank you
Hello,
for
good to
being
be
on the
here.
show. I'm so excited. So, can you tell me, how did you start off in the music industry as an artist? What was your influences and how did you start out?
So I've been a musician my whole life. I actually started out playing drums as a kid, and my dad is a musician. He would play at different bands. He's a guitar player. So I was originally attracted to the drums, and I was able to play with my dad a little bit. And I have a very musical family. I got into playing guitar when I was 12. Um, And in junior high and high school, I was in local bands, so we would play various gigs at like ice cream places or birthday
Mhm.
parties or whatever we could get. And then when I fell in love with classical guitar when I was about 15, I started taking lessons in high school with one of the college professors at Westchester University, where I ended up studying. And then from there, I started teaching lessons, playing local gigs. I ended up getting a master's degree at New England Conservatory, where I studied with Elliot Fisk, the legendary player,
Wow.
and that um, took my career to another height. Then I started studying with another guitar player, Jason Vio, who is a Grammy Award-winning player and the teacher at I forget but he teaches at Curtis and then he teaches at a place in Ohio, Cleveland Institute, I think. So, and since then I have performed live on the radio numerous times. I have been increasing teaching. I've been performing a lot more. I'm starting to do interviews and starting to really try to grow my business. So looking forward to the future. I have a lot of new things planned, so very excited.
I'm very excited for you as well. And it's amazing to hear that you had this great experience going to the conservatory and really having these great Grammy Award winning artists. I mean, like influence you in your musical career. I mean, how was that experience to have that type of connection with
Well, it's definitely one thing I realized is that studying with the top players in the world is really the only way to go, honestly, for me, because I find that there's a lot of things that the average musician will do or they'll tell you you have to do, and when you really study with top level players, you really realize what you need to do and what you don't need to do. Sorry, that's my alarm that I have an interview. Uh, so it's really sorry. I'm gonna just turn off my phone here. I should have done this before. Um, so yeah, studying with top players really allowed me to learn what I need to focus on and what I don't need to focus on, and what I
Mhm,
need to
mhm.
do to grow my career. And really, a lot of it was actually just weeding out things that I used to do all the time because I thought you needed to. That it turns out that are they're making a very little difference. If you're familiar with the 80-20 principle,
Mhm.
I really 80-20'd my practicing and my career also as well, because something else that they were able to do was not only help me in my playing, but help me think. Especially Elliot has helped me to think like this is a career and this is a
Mhm.
business, and I'm not just going to be a good player, but I need to be able to make a living. And Also, Elliot is also one of the most positive people I've ever met. So I've had a lot of downsides, a lot of giving up on the faith. And if it wasn't for all of his positive pep talks, I don't know if I would be continuing to do this. So,
Oh, well, I think that's great because I think most artists do struggle with bringing those two elements together, the music and the business. And when you think about the industry, a lot of artists always just think about the music, but it's also the business side of tech of it that's something that you don't really get taught. It's a learned experience, but you got that great experience from someone that already been there, done that. So he kind of took you under your wings and you were able to get mentored by someone who was genuine, someone who was positive, and someone that's just done so many great things in the music industry. So blessings to you, Brad. You were at the right place at the right time. Now, let's talk a little bit about who were some of your musical influences? I know that you said that, your dad inspired you because he was a drummer as well. Was your dad a drummer? Or you just played the drums?
he was a guitar player, yes.
Art plays. Okay, sorry. And what was some of the music were you listening to when you were a kid growing up that kind of inspired you to take this, this path?
Well, I always loved music. My dad really loved music, so and for classical guitar, I'm definitely into a lot of the main peoples. Andrea Segovia, of course,
Wow.
the number one classical guitar
Mhm.
player.
Wow.
I was always into Elliot Fisk and Jason Vio, who I was lucky enough to I sought them out and studied with them, and John Williams. But I also was very influenced by jazz. I am a huge Miles Davis fan. I
Oh,
uh, I know a lot about Miles Davis, and I've studied his career and how he constantly reinvents himself. And I really love all of his music, especially some of the weird fusion stuff that some people are turned off by. But that some of the stuff he did in the late
the
'60s and
60s.
'70s, really, I love Herbie Hancock. That was my last concert I saw before the world closed down.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
I'm really influenced now by a guy named Tigran Hamasyan, who is a jazz piano player who is also combining Indian rhythms, and he is absolutely on the cutting edge of music in terms of instrumental music, and it's really exciting to see the kind of stuff that he does. So I listen to a lot of music. I like Chet Atkins, the country guitar player.
Mhm.
I have a taste for rap that I enjoy. And oh yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed with Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah. I
I
love Jimmy too.
Yeah, I think he's the best guitar player ever. And we can talk. I have a whole arguments for that. Some people can disagree, but there's a lot of data backing that up. So even though I'm a classical guitar player, I really enjoy a lot of different kinds of music, a lot of diversity, and and I think you can take things like, although maybe I'm not playing jazz like Miles Davis, the idea of reinventing yourself every album. Or one thing I love about Miles Davis is each album is a sort of a mood.
Hmm.
So if I'm kind of in a mellow mood, if I'm driving home for a gig, it's raining, I can put on Water Babies. If I'm
Correct.
a little bit crazy or something, there's
Mhm.
some crazier Miles Davis albums that I can put, but each is a collective. So I really try to make my recordings and my future recordings sort of kind of match that idea. Like if you're in this mood, you can put on this album. If you're in this mood, so I don't, it not necessarily directly influencing the players, but just kind of conceptually and things like that.
No, I think this is great. And I think you hit the nail right on the head when you said, as an artist, you have to pull from things, but you also have to evolve. And, you weren't the same type of artist that you were when you were a kid versus when you went to conservatories to now where you are as well in your musical career. And I think a lot of times with artists, they get stuck and they're not able to really evolve or they get into this, of this one type of box thing. And I think as an artist or as just a person in general, you always have to evolve to be something better than what you were before because you're always growing and learning. That's just part of life.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely think that. And there's a lot of defining, people like, for example, I always have loved classical guitar. Um, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not really into the culture behind that. The stereotypical classical guitar player is wearing a suit and tie. They're levitating above you. You're down here and they're up here, and they're a little bit snooty and snobby sometimes, and sophisticated. And maybe you go with your monocle to go listen to them. And not that I'm necessarily against that, but I think that that musical trends have evolved a lot since then. I mean, the typical magician of the 1800s with the top hat and the scarf,
Mhm.
that's how people dressed. And then eventually magic needed to evolve, and we had David Blaine, who was dressing like how we would do today. Like,
Okay.
this is how and not going back to some kind of ancient relic. So I think that classical music really is still alive and it's still evolving, but we need to evolve the culture and the image and the branding of it too. So that's something that I really am interested in, is getting out of that. The music itself is good, but then it doesn't have to, all the cultural I guess
Right.
the branding that comes along with it, I think, can be rebranded to really reach a bigger audience and make people realize that it really is an amazing, beautiful style that is really, I believe everybody loves classical guitar and they haven't realized it yet. And I think that with kind of moving forward with a different image, I think that I'm hoping to be able to reach new audiences and go to
You,
bigger heights.
you will, and I believe because you are this artist that's on the cutting edge of of the music that you're putting out, you're going to be the one that can actually bring classical music culture, not just the music itself, but the culture to a whole nother level than what it has been boxed in for years, centuries. So can you tell me and the audience, how could people get in contact with you to book you for upcoming weddings, shows, events, etc.?
So the best place to reach me is my website, bradraumusic.com, BRADRAU music.com. I have all of my information there, all my social media links, all of my my contacts for performing or for teaching. You can also just Google Brad Rau guitar, and you can see all the various things that I've been up to over the years and will continue to do. So I would say, yeah, I would visit my website and you can learn all about me and everything I've been up to.
And ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you check out his music on Spotify as well. You have such a lovely selection of music. I mean, from 2011 to 2016. I mean, I just love his musical flow. You're definitely a musical genius. And guys, make sure y'all watch out for Brad Rau. He is coming to you very, very soon. He's going to be doing some great things in 2022 and beyond. Thank you so much, Brad, for being on the show today. And thank you so much for sharing your musical journey and experiences. It definitely has inspired me. I know it's going to inspire other young artists as well who are just maybe just getting in the industry, or maybe they're just stuck. And I mean, thank you so much. It was an honor to interview you and talk with you, and I'm looking forward to having you back on a follow-up show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And guys, thank you for listening to the 101 in 10, where you get to see your favorite artists from around the world 101 in 10 minutes. Again, my name is Ayasha Roberson. Expect the unexpected. You never know. We might be in your city or town next. See you soon. And remember, guys, be kind to each other and take care. Bye.